kind of had the time to review the film, what did you think of your unit's performance in last Saturday's scrimmage?
Probably like most scrimmages, right? When there's some good, there's some bad. You're never quite satisfied with how it looked, and so you're glad you got at that time 2 weeks left before you play your first game. But those days are quickly dwindling, so we got a lot of stuff to get cleaned up.
What are the biggest things you're looking to clean up in the next 10 days or so?
Oh, it's just no hesitation, playing fast, confident in your assignment. Usually you can tell on film when a guy's not playing up to his full potential because he's out there hesitant, thinking too much. And obviously, it's our job as coaches to remedy that and get it get eliminated from their play.
What does Jackie Matthews kind of bring to the table? I mean, it seems like he's run with the ones all camp.
Yeah, he came out of spring with the ones, and so he's earned that right to get those reps. Obviously, he brings some coverage ability. Played corner, played nickel, places he's been. So we really like what he brings in some man coverage ability. Obviously, we got to get him. We got to get him. He's one of those guys I was talking about earlier. You see some hesitation in some of his play at times because he's probably a little unsure of his assignment, what we're playing for certain formations, and obviously hesitation will lead to big plays and get you beat on Saturday. So we got to get that eliminated if he's going to stick with the ones.
We've seen Jalen Green and Corey Ellington kind of split some first-team reps. What do you kind of make of that competition?
That's what you're trying to get during camp, right? You're trying to create as much competition as possible. I mean, he just asked a question about Jackie. Obviously, you just did. I imagine we'll see quite a few different lineups in there this weekend in the last scrimmage, just because I'm not convinced we've found the three best safeties to have out there and the most reliable ones. Some guys have strengths and then their weaknesses. Other guys, that's their strength, and that's kind of our job as coaches to get it evaluated and figure out who the best ones are to have out there, because you never want to lose a game because you got assignment errors or you don't got the best players out on the field.
You're such a veteran group back on defense, and obviously you're the boss and you're their coach and you're the one they look to, but how much you see some of those guys coaching each other and giving advice and trying to bring others along?
Yeah, I mean, some position groups more than others. Obviously, the guys who have the majority reps, Cam Young, Crumley, obviously they jump out in the D-line. Buki, Tyrus, they kind of jump out in the linebacker room. Jet knows, but he's so locked in on what he's doing. Forbes particularly, right, in the secondary. And so it's good to have those guys, but, I mean, all those guys I just mentioned, they have their fair share of days where they don't quite look like the vets that are, have everything figured out. And so we got to make sure we got all 11 operating at a high level.
At that cornerback position with opposite of Forbes with DCAM and Banks, obviously we didn't get to see Banks much in the spring. He was kind of dinged up and in and out of. You talked so well about DCAM and the spring he had. What kind of changes did you see him in camp and preseason practice now that Banks was back and pushing him at that position?
It's good for. Competition's always good, right? It makes the cream rise to the top, and that competition's ongoing too, right? Just the thing you love about DCAM is his approach every day. I mean, every day is the same guy. He comes out to work. Doesn't mean it's the cleanest day by any means. There's going to be mistakes in there or technique errors, but it's not for a lack of effort. You like coaching those guys.
What do you see from Jet in this camp compared to last year? Now that he's got a lot more experience under his belt.
I probably just see more plays being made because I finally have him out there like he should have been probably. So he's doing a great job. I mean, that's Jet, right? He's one of those guys who shows up every day with the right mindset.
Have you seen Jordan Davis start to kind of shake the rust off now that he's got a couple weeks under his belt?
Yeah, I mean, coming off of the injury he did, obviously it takes time to get feeling 100% and confident with when you put all the force in the ground and plant off that leg, and so his development's coming along right like we anticipated.
Okay.